Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new episode of Hot Gamers Only, the show where we talk about the hot topics in games. I'm your host, Ethan. I'm joined today by, as always, the co-host with the co-most. It's Hunter. How you doing, Hunter?
Oh, I'm doing swell. What's going on?
You say that every time. I feel like it's starting to... It just is. It's me going,
Okay,
hey,
fine.
Hunter, how you doing? And every time it's, I'm swell. I'm swell.
Do you want me to be less swell? Do you want me to feel bad?
I mean, I don't know. Do you have... I mean, you do you, dude. I'm not one to judge. You can do what you want.
We need to put you through a character arc.
Have I introduced you yet? No. Sit down.
Oh.
Sit down, wait your turn. I'm also joined by, as always, the weeb wonder himself, Kyle. How you doing, Kyle? You doing good?
I'm doing swell.
Nice. You love to see it. Can I just say that I have not heard a single negative comment about the weeb wonder, dude. Every single person that has brought it up has loved it, dude. You'll love to see it.
Who
brought it up besides us?
Oh, a couple of my friends brought it up. It was
nice.
Nice. It was pretty nice. And then back for his second appearance on the show himself. Like I don't really have a nickname for you, Jack. So we're gonna have to come up with a couple, right?
Oh, God.
We got the Scottish Smasher, the Scottish Sweetheart, or the Tiny Tosser. It's Jack Jacobean Payne. How you doing, Jack?
I'm swell, thanks.
Yeah, nice. Which one do you prefer? Which one do you want? Do you want the Scottish Smasher, the Scottish Sweetheart, or the Tiny Tosser? Dude, you take your pick.
Makes me sound like a nonce.
Good point. We'll go with Scottish Sweetheart then. But if you're new here and don't know that Jack isn't a nonce, this is Hot Gamers Only, where every week we talk to you about the hot topics in games. You can find us on podcast services everywhere, as well as on YouTube and Soundcloud. This week we're doing a very special show, which means that we have got no games to talk about. Hooray!
The well has run dry.
Honestly, just checking our statistics from last week's episode, I can clearly see that people are sick of us talking about Final Fantasy VII Episode 5, so
I beat it,
there you
by
go.
the way.
No, shut up, Hunter, you're scaring them off. So this week, we are talking about games that define your gaming taste, which is like a topic that Hunter brought up a couple of weeks ago that we're finally doing. So, Hunter, I'm going to put the pen down because I keep clicking it, and that's really bad for being on a podcast.
Pen?
Yeah, dude, I've got a pen.
Why?
I don't know, but I have it. Hunter, do you want to describe what the idea behind this topic is?
Basically, what it is I saw a picture. It was like describe or define your video game taste in 4 images, and then it showed like
In the most
4
Facebook
different
meme
games.
way ever.
Yeah, it's a very Facebook meme, dude.
Basically, yeah. So I figured when I saw that, I started sending it to friends and guessing what theirs would be. And I figured that'd be a fun thing to do for this podcast because we could make a game out of it.
Exactly. So the whole idea is, before the show, we have all picked 4 games that we think define our gaming tastes, and everyone else has guessed what each other's picks are. And people are gonna give reasons for why they picked it, why they thought that Kyle really liked Valkyria Chronicles 4. You know? It's true, dude.
Oh, yeah.
It's true.
Yes, this game I've played so much. It's my favorite tactical RPG.
Oh, no, everyone else has guessed each other's games, and we'll see how well we do. We are keeping score, but it's for fun. We're just doing it for a laugh. We're probably all going to get 0 now that I've said that we're keeping scores, but you know. We did make a rule of 1 game per franchise. You get 1 point if you guess the franchise. You get 2 if you guess the specific game in the franchise. Does everyone get the rules? Jack, have you actually written 4 games down for everyone?
What do you take me as?
Someone that hasn't written 4 games down for everyone.
Well, I have.
Okay.
He's like that kid in
Nice.
class who does the homework before the teacher comes in.
That's me. Dude. That was me.
That was
was
I
me
always
too.
remember. There was always like a good 30 people in the library after the class after lunch, which was all the people who were like, hey, we haven't done the homework, time to rush it in 30 minutes, let's get going.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you love to see it. Although I was never truly confident enough to do it during the class before they hand it in. I was never that
That's
confident.
what I did.
I did that a few times.
Or I'd just get it like half done and hope that they didn't look at the whole thing, because a lot of
Yeah.
times it was just kind of they'd glance at it to make sure you did it rather than go over it, see if you got
Right.
everything right or wrong.
Yep.
Well, what can I say? I'm not as badass as you two. Anyway, moving the hell on. Let's get started. I feel like we should have randomly drawn who was going to go first. So quickly, Hunter, say something funny while I get the random name generator up.
Something funny.
Can you say
I'm
a very
glad we have-
Jack? Can you say some nonsense, please, for a bit?
So Hunter, have you started playing Okami yet?
No, I
That's
started
not
playing
really-
Cuphead though.
Damn it.
Sorry, man. Silent Hill is going to be here on like Tuesday, so I didn't want to start Okami because it seems like it'd be longer.
Yeah,
I
it
feel
The
is.
like
original.
That's fair.
Silent Hill 2 or
Ooh.
Okami. Which one are you talking about?
Silent Hill.
Oh yeah, Silent Hill 2 is the
I
one.
didn't even realize. I've only just remembered that there's an Okami too. I just want to throw that one out there. Right.
Is-
Anyway,
Yeah,
the
it's called
random
Okami
generator
then.
is going, and the winner was drum roll. I can't be bothered to bang on my desk because it will really ruin the.
But dude, you have a pen.
Yeah. You know,
Oh yeah, true. Hang on,
It's like half a drum.
Jack. So Jack, you're going first, which
Who am I
means that we're going to
guessing?
try and guess Jack's games. How fun!
All right, you
Uh,
go first then, okay.
Kyle, you can
Yeah.
go first. Tell
Oh,
us one
dude.
game that you think defines Jack and
So you
why.
want me to go through all of them, or
One.
No, just one. We'll
Just
start with
one.
one. We'll just
All
start
right.
with one and give you a reason.
well, I'm gonna go with the easy pick and say Smash Bros. Because that's how I knew him.
And that's the franchise. Did you pick a specific game?
I would probably say Smash 4 because
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that was your favorite.
I want to
I know
also
you got
put
your
on the
start in
record
Brawl.
that I also have Smash 4 as one of mine.
me too.
I'll let you. Okay, so
Um,
Kyle,
maybe
you can
Becky-
explain it for everyone. You can
What?
explain it for everyone.
Why am I
Why
explaining?
did you put Smash?
Why'd I pick Smash 4?
You're the one that picked it. Yeah.
All right, I picked Smash 4 because Jack really enjoyed that game, and he complains about Ultimate, and he says, "I wish Ultimate was more like Smash 4." And Mewtwo's tail wasn't garbage in Smash 4.
Mewtwo's not the only reason.
I mean, my reason for picking it is obviously for those of you who are listening to this podcast that's been directed to this podcast from Jack. Everyone knows him from Smash because he was a competitive Smash player in 4. So that's why I picked 4 because I'm like, hey, that's the one that I know he played a lot of, and I know he shits on Ultimate every day. So
It's definitely the one he went the hardest in. You got your start in Brawl, right, Jack?
I got the start in Brawl, yeah. Then when Smash 4 came out, I was the best in that for 4 years in Scotland, so I
Mhm.
really enjoyed it and traveling for it.
Hunter, do you have any other reason for putting that one? Other than
Not really. I just
Same.
I've heard him talk about it. Figured that was his
okay.
favorite.
So Jack, can you confirm is Smash Bros on your list?
It is, and it was indeed Smash 4.
Okay, so well done. That's 2 points to everyone. That's like the easy pickings that one was. That genuinely was. I hope I like people listening to the podcast are probably going to think, oh, this is just going to be a clean sweep of everyone realizing. Don't worry, at this point,
No.
it's anyone's game because Jack is a mythical creature. Hunter, you can pick the next one then. What did you put on your list?
Crash Bandicoot 2.
I also put Crash Bandicoot.
I also put Crash 2.
What's the reason, Hunter?
Well, from everything I've observed from watching you guys speedrun that game, it seems like torture, and he continues to do it. So, he has to like it for
Not
some
wrong.
reason or another.
Oh god.
Yeah, the reason I picked is like we know Jack likes Crash a lot, so much that he wants him in Smash for some reason. But you know, and I just associate Crash 2. I'll always associate Crash 2 with everyone here.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna put a Crash game on your list, I'd assume it'd be Crash 2.
Yeah.
Is it on your list, Jack?
Yes, it is.
Okay, 2 more points to everyone. Good job, boys. Good job.
Hype, this
Alright,
is
it's
easy.
gonna be hopefully.
Easy game, dude. Easy game. Okay, so I'm up next. Okay, so this was really hard because I was picking between 2 games in the same franchise. So I'm going to say The Legend of Zelda.
Okay.
Okay, and then the choice for me was between Wind Waker, obviously, and Breath of the Wild.
Well, you have to pick one.
I know, and I haven't picked yet, so let me just quickly think.
I have Wind Waker written down on my list.
Do you know what? I'll spice things up then, Kyle. If you've got Wind Waker, I'll say Breath of the Wild.
Good boy.
And my reason for Breath of the Wild is Jack really enjoyed Breath of the Wild when it came out. I don't think I've seen anyone play in our friend group more of Breath of the Wild than Jack.
I had
My
like
reason for
400
Wind Waker.
hours on that game.
Yeah, way too, like, a lot of time on that game. So that I just, again, but Wind Waker, obviously Wind Waker, I associate with Jack as well, which is
Yeah.
why I see where Kyle came from. But
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Jack.
Here's a,
I took a
here's Toon
guess
Link main
on
in Smash
Wind
4.
Waker because he uses Toon Link in Smash
Yep.
Brothers.
Exactly.
So, Jack.
It was Wind Waker.
Oh,
Fuck.
high
I
five,
should have gone
Kyle.
with my gut. I should have gone with my gut. I should have gone with my gut. Damn it, I'm so annoyed. Right, so fourth round. I think everyone here will have a different fourth game because I don't think anyone...
And I think
So-
they're all going to be wrong.
Kyle, go for it. What's
So-
your fourth pick?
My fourth pick was Pokemon Platinum.
Mm,
Mm-hmm. Ethan?
no, it's... No, Kyle, you gotta give a reason for Pokemon Platinum.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, we're not just running through them?
No.
Well,
We gotta
I
make this
remember,
podcast last, man.
I remember once upon a time before Sam had... He's not been on the podcast yet. You haven't met Sam. He's a cool dude.
Yeah, he's
When
cool.
If one day you'll meet him.
when Sam had
Maybe.
not yet played any of the Sinnoh games, and Jack would not stop badgering him to play Platinum.
It's true. It's true.
So I
All right,
figure
well,
that's
just-
like got to be like your
I
favorite.
just want to say that now that you've said Pokemon, I'm so annoyed that I didn't
Did you
think
not
Pokemon.
have Pokemon?
No, I didn't even
Oh my
think.
God.
The thought of Pokemon didn't even cross my mind.
Not even
Hunter.
Hard Gold, Soul Silver.
No, but I forgot that he was really into Pokemon. I was picking one last
Dude.
minute, and I forgot that he was really into.
Oh, this is why you do your homework,
Pokemon.
my guy,
What homework?
so you can be prepared for the test.
Okay. Anyway, Hunter, you give your example while I try to think of a game that's not Pokemon, so it doesn't look like I copied.
I took a shot in the dark and went with Mario Kart Wii because a lot of you guys liked that game for a while. I don't know.
It's fair. It's fair.
That's fair. I also went along the Mario line.
Yeah, I was considering Mario.
Shut the fuck up. I know I'm wrong, but anyway. I was pinking along the Mario line, and I was like, I don't even know if Jack likes 3D Mario games. But let's just throw a dart at the fucking wall and hoping I hit a bullseye. Dude.
Sunshine.
So if there's one game that I know that Jack loves, fuck off, Hunter, don't spoil shit.
What was that hit?
There's one game that I know that Jack loves more than anything else. It's Mario Sunshine.
Oh,
The
dear.
flood, dude. The fucking triple jump. The fact that it's not Mario 64. All great things. And that's the reason I went for Mario Sunshine. Now, Jack, what's the fourth game on your list?
So before I get into the fourth pick, I thought I'd mention I was heavily considering Mario Brothers 3 on my list.
Oh yeah,
But I
Oh,
did
yeah.
video game.
instead, these are not going to believe this, I chose Wario Land 4.
What?
Yeah.
Exciting. Swerve.
Please explain.
Okay, yeah, you're going to have to give a reason for that one.
I felt like I had to diversify like stuff from consoles I grew up with, and I thought I'll put a Game Boy game in there that I really, really liked and once considered speedrunning. So I just really like Wario Land 4. It's an amazing game.
I really should have
Alrighty.
thought about that. Literally, it was brought up last week.
Yeah.
I think Gary mentioned that you ran it. And I was like, oh yeah, you did. And I didn't like it. I'm honestly shocked that it isn't Pokemon. Because as soon as Cal
Yeah.
said Pokemon, and I'm like, oh god, it is. It's Pokemon.
I could have done that, but it would have been too easy.
You tried to swerve ball, as a
Damn it.
So
Well, we fell
thanks,
for
Jack.
Yeah, we
Thanks,
did.
Jack. At the end of that round, Kyle and Hunter are on 6 points, and I'm on 5.
it. Get hype.
But it's all to play for as we move on to our second round. Now, let's see. Let me quickly pick a random letter again.
Oh my
And
god.
I didn't remove the previous one. Oh, okay. It's fine. We're fine. It is Hunter. Hunter's next up.
Oh boy.
Oh, doctor.
I feel like we should have saved Hunter for last
This is gonna be fun.
because
Well, I mean,
Hunter
you
is
could
a
just
wild
choose another
card.
one if you want.
Yeah, we're saving Hunter. Yeah, no, scratch that. Hunter, we're
Alright.
all going to be guessing more for Hunter than anyone else. So I feel like it should be a
Yeah.
wild card
I feel
round.
like mine should be easy.
Yeah.
You say that. Okay, so it's me.
You
I'm
forget we're
next.
dumb.
Don't forget. Yeah, don't forget. I didn't even think of Pokemon. And we literally, before the podcast, had a 25-minute conversation about Pokemon and how we're going to do an episode on it because people really like 3 people really likes Pokemon games in our group. Anyway, moving on. It's me. I'm next. Have fun guessing.
All
I'm not
right.
going to call the shots here. I'm just going to sit back. Someone else going to call the shots on who gets to go first and stuff.
All
like
right,
that.
I'll
first.
just
Xenoblade
let's
2.
Oh, we're starting with that one.
That's a big fat F right there.
Oh,
it's an
no.
F.
Oh,
I
creaky
also-
chair.
I also put actually no wait, I didn't.
I also didn't put Xenoblade
I was
2.
gonna put Xenoblade. I was gonna put Xenoblade 2 as well, but I didn't.
It's not Xenoblade 2. I really like Xenoblade 2.
Well, the
but
first-
it's not what should I
well.
say? I really like Xenoblade 2, but when I say it defines my gaming taste, I don't think it does. Because I think if it was any other game in that kind of style of gameplay that wasn't Xenoblade 2 with its corny dialogue and stupid story, I don't think I would have been engaged in it.
All right,
It was 100% the story and the stupid voice acting that got me through that game.
Kyle, say the other obvious one.
Persona
Hell.
5.
Oh, ding, ding, ding.
Yep, that was
You
my
have a
pick.
winner. Shall we
Mine.
talk about...
That was also one of mine.
Yeah.
Did everyone have Persona 5? That was the free
Yes.
one.
Yes.
I don't know what is there to say about Persona
If
5
you'd like
that I
to know
haven't
more,
already said.
watch the last 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And watch my
Basically.
upcoming video essay on... There's no video essay. I
Oh, there
wish.
is, dude.
I can't be bothered to make one.
Dude, I'll make mine if you make yours.
I'll come up with one.
Trade.
I'll make one about Silent
Nice,
Hill
dude.
when I beat it.
Wonderful.
I've already started scripting one for Persona 4.
Hype.
Oh, nice, dude. Right, so you all got 2 points on that regard. But yeah, Persona 5, it's a really obvious one, so I'm not going to explain that one. I'll explain the rest of them.
Yeah.
I'm not going to explain that one.
All right.
That means
So-
it's Jack's go, because you guessed.
I
P5.
guess last.
Yeah, you get a guess. What's your guess?
All right, I thought Crash 2 as well, just because obviously it was a game that you speedrun a lot, somewhat, and streamed.
You might be shocked to hear this. Crash 2 is not on my list.
Oh dear.
Did anyone else put Crash 2?
No.
No.
You didn't fall for the trap, but Jack did. There you go.
Yeah, because you hate that game.
I would like to throw it out that I don't hate the game. I hate speedrunning the game.
He hates what it did to him. though.
Yeah.
I hate what it did to me after like 5 years of playing it. I love Crash 2, but there is a specific reason why I didn't pick Crash 2, and if I told you that reason, it would give away one of the choices.
All right.
So,
We're going through your
Hey.
list anyway.
I mean, we will afterwards, but, no, Crash 2 is not one of them. Hunter, you're up next. Have a guess.
Spyro. One of the
Okay.
first 3. Let's go with the first game.
Okay. Did anyone else have Spyro on their list?
I
have
was going
Spyro.
to, but I didn't.
Which Spyro?
I just have Spyro written down. I don't know which ones you've played.
you
Or
wanna
which
make a
ones
guess?
you like. I don't know. We'll
Might
go
as
with,
well for-
we'll go with 2. Spyro 2.
Okay. And, Spyro 2 is on my list.
Yes!
Hype.
Well done. Point
I got
for
it.
point for Hunter, and a point for Kyle, and a point for Hunter.
Wait, doesn't Kyle
Uh,
get 2 points? Since
2
he
points
gets...
for Kyle, 1 point for Hunter, yeah. So the reason that it's Spyro 2 is I was obviously going to pick I have a Crash with Spyro. And the reason I pick Spyro is simply because I played Spyro first.
Mm-hmm.
Spyro was the game that got me into platformers. I played it with my parents a hell of a lot.
Yep.
To the point where I was that bad at the game that my parents, when I went to bed, would continue playing it for hours, going back and picking up all the gems that I missed because I didn't do enough to progress because I couldn't be bothered to pick up gems. But no, that was the first. Spyro 2 was the first 3D platformer I ever played. And I just have a lot of memories with it. So it's why it's that instead of Crash 2. It's also why I've never wanted to speedrun Spyro 2 because my rule of thumb is any game that I really love is immediately never going to be I'm never going to speedrun it. Because I don't want to ruin my impression of it. Because you guys will know, well, you guys will know this, Jack and Kyle especially know this. When you've learned how to speedrun a game, there's no going back.
Yeah.
It very much is. Once you've learned how to speedrun a game, you never get that
can't
casual
unlearn
experience
it.
again. I will never play Crash 2 under 2 hours ever again. because I will always neutral slide spin. I'll never not do the movement. I'll never not do the optimal route. It kind of ruins the game from a casual perspective.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'll just never touch it ever again. So that's why I've never learned Spyro 2. I always had it down and saying, I might learn it, but I didn't. I did like one run of it and went, no. Bad idea. But yeah, Spyro 2 is on my list. Well done for not falling into the trap
Heyo.
of saying Crash, like Jack. Unlucky Jack.
My bad. Kyle,
I mean,
think
it was close.
turn?
Kyle, it's your turn. Go for it.
Okay. So I wasn't sure how to really categorize this, so I just put it under Telltale games. Stuff like Walking Dead or Life is Strange. Games of that nature. No, that's Traveler's Tales.
Oh, that's Traveler's Tales.
Just, and there you have it. There's the Crash game on my list. It's T-Walk. Wow. No, it's not.
Lego Star Wars 2, right?
Did anyone else put Telltale games?
No.
I just wasn't sure how to qualify.
Yeah, that is a no.
But Ethan, you'll be surprised to know this one.
Hang on, no, I haven't given him a reason for why it's not Telltale games.
Oh,
Yet.
yeah.
God, Jack, come on.
Wait,
We've got to make this podcast last, dude. We've got to make it
Harder
last.
things.
this is the only topic.
Gotta stretch it out. The reason that it's not any Telltale games is because I only actually like technically 3 games that are in that genre. One's Tales from the Borderlands.
Good
And it's
game.
because the writing in that game is incredible. It's some of the best writing ever, and I'm always shocked that I'm like, that's one of the funniest scripts I've ever seen in a game, and it's in a Borderlands game where the jokes are usually god awful and immature, and that game's really smart, and I'm like, wow, okay. The other 2 are Life is Strange and Life is Strange Before the Storm, which is the semi-sequel.
Think of
I thought it
that.
was a prequel.
I mean, these aren't on my list, Jack. These aren't on my list, but these are the games. These are the Telltale games that I do like. I don't know why I like Life is Strange. It's one of those. It's similar in the way of
I enjoyed the first game.
Xenoblade 2 in the dialogue and the acting is cringy as hell, but the story is somewhat engaging in a way that it made me want to carry on playing until the end. And in terms of plot twists, I was talking to a couple of friends last night actually about plot twists and how I'd rather have no plot twists in a game than a really terrible plot twist.
Yeah,
I agree.
always.
And 2 games that have one of them is on my list. Obviously, Persona 5 has a great plot twist. Without going into spoilers. Because that game, that is the definition of subverting your expectations in terms of you think it's going one way and then it does, and then it goes, ha 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 ha, no, we saw it. You thought you saw it, we saw it, and then we'll take it in a different way. And that's brilliant. The other one is Life is Strange.
Yeah.
The ending of episode 4 of Life is Strange is brilliant. And I didn't see it coming. I had a gut feeling, but it was great. And then they kind of ruined it with episode 5.
Yeah.
But at episode 4, that's a brilliant episode, but it's a brilliant ending. I love that. But no, Telltale games I like, but I don't really count them. It's like watching TV.
Fair.
So that's why I didn't really ever think about it. But hey, good suggestion. Anyway, go on, Jack. Give me. This is like your last one, isn't it?
No, I've got 2 I haven't told you.
Oh, okay. Go for it.
But they were completely just throwaways because I had no idea what to think after Crash 2 and Persona 5. I legit put Sonic Forces.
That's a great guess, Jack. Unfortunately, I haven't ever played Sonic Forces.
But it was your game of the year.
Pardon?
It was your game of the year.
Yeah, but I was just taking what every other review outlet does on the internet these days and just put a game of years what I haven't played, you know? Like you're telling me Jeff Keighley's played all those games? I love you, Jeff, but you've not played all those games. You played Death Stranding and that's it.
It's not his list of games, it's just his show.
Yeah, I know. I just don't want to call out any specific outlet. And Jeff Keighley, he's free real estate.
I wrote the article about Final Fantasy's easy mode being too easy.
Oh, Kotaku? Actually, Jason Schreier's left Kotaku now, so I don't mind saying this. That yeah, Kotaku's fucking dumb at times. Like with some of the stuff they pulled. Jason, he's got such a fucking tongue twister for a name. Jason Schreier was a really good journalist, and he does good work. But then everything else, there's another guy that was at Kotaku who left as well. It was really good. But anyway, I'm getting on a tangent. No, Sonic Forces is not on my list, and it never will be on my list. And I hate Sonic. Sonic Heroes is the best Sonic game. Fight me.
What?
It's because it's the only one I've played.
Oh,
Sonic
okay,
Heroes
fair.
are-
Thank you. Cheers. There we go. That's enough Sonic talk forever.
Forever.
Didn't you play the one racing game?
Sonic and All Stars Racing. I take it back. Sonic and All Stars Racing Transformed is the best Sonic game because it's a good racing game. Anyway, moving on. Go on. Who's next? Who still has a thing on their list?
One left.
I have
Okay,
one
go on then.
left.
Hunter. I think everyone has one left.
Sly Cooper.
Hey.
This is a shot in the dark, but
Which one?
You see, originally I wanted to say 4 just because that's the one I've heard you talk the most about, but I think I settled on 2.
I also have Sly too.
And you're both wrong because Sly is not on my list.
Aw,
Feels bad, man.
Yeah, I like Sly. Also, you're very right to say that I do appreciate Sly 4 more than most people do. I don't know. I feel like that game gets a bit too much of a bad rep for what it is. I mean, the load times are a bit god-awful, but other than that, there's nothing particularly wrong with it in my book. But no, I like Sly a lot, but not enough to say that it defined me. Like, defined my gaming, choices. If anything, Spyro did, which led me to Sly.
Yeah,
There wasn't, a big...
I've done.
I've
this
also, I've only played, I think I've only played the Sly games, twice. So, yeah. I feel like it's because of this, for people that didn't know. A Franca Faces emote very much got represented with me. It got attached to me in a way, and it's an image of Sly. So, people kind of associate it with me.
Yep.
More than... Even I use it on some websites just when I can't be bothered to use my face. But yeah, there you go. It's not Sly. So you two have lost your guesses. Jack, you're the only hope left. There's two little games here that no one...
Okay, if you think Sonic Forces was a bad guess.
Okay.
So, I know Ethan so well.
You do.
I think I have this down.
You've only known me for 6 years.
I think I have the answer. No,
Go on.
Ethan, he's a crazy wild card, so I went with Wii Sports.
Oh,
He
baby.
never owned a Wii.
Yeah, but I've played enough Wii Sports in my time to know that it's not a game that defined what I play.
I don't know, I thought you were quite the active person, so I went for Wii Sports.
Oh,
I
yes.
am. Well, I was an active person. Then I became a slob. No. So you didn't get 2 of them. I'm surprised you didn't get 1 of them.
Can
to
I
be
have
honest.
another guess for no
That's on the
points?
fine.
Go for it.
Call of Duty, one of the Black Ops.
No.
No?
Overwatch?
No.
Damn it. Well,
All right, I give up.
2 games that I also,
fold.
at least with Black Ops, the Zombies mode. And the Black Ops 1 and 2 campaigns are also good. But, not to find me. The 2 that you didn't get is I'm going to say one that might be... I'm going to say the one that was more obvious first, and I'll say the one that was least obvious that you weren't going to get after that. So the one that was least obvious was The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Oh my god,
right.
really?
Because
Yeah,
if you
makes-
remember, if I'm known for one thing, I don't really like Zelda games.
correct.
And Breath of the Wild is my second favorite game of all time. I've never played a game that's given you that much freedom in its world and in its movement and in what you want to do.
I mean, I think it
And I've
was
never had a game that's been that literally the world is just yours to explore. There's secrets in every inch of that world. I've never been so engrossed in an actual game world before as I had in Breath of the Wild.
I was going to say,
So-
I think one thing I think we agreed on upon before with Breath of the Wild is it's not a Zelda game, but more like a really good open world game with Zelda slapped on it.
Mm-hmm. I'll say it. It's the best open world game I think I've ever played.
Agreed.
By far. And yeah, it's not the best quote unquote Zelda game if you define a Zelda game as X amount of dungeons and bosses and a bit of a story in between that. But in my opinion, it excelled at what it wanted to be. So it's the best Zelda game for me because what it wanted to be is exactly what it is. And hey, I love that game. And I can't wait for the sequel in 2025 for whatever console comes out then, because Nintendo really knows how to time their releases. I'll say that now, and then it comes out this year, and I'll look like a right dumbass, won't I? But
That'd be
we'll
cool.
see. And the one that no one was going to get, but I've mentioned it before, so maybe you would have got it, was Red Dead Redemption.
Oh, right.
Really?
The original, yeah.
Huh.
I have a real soft spot for that game. And the reason I put it on this is because that was the game in 2010.
Yes, 2010.
That was the game that proved to me that you can tell a compelling story in video games with characters that are actually believable in a world that feels real. That to me was like, I'm not the biggest fan of Rockstar games. Like, I play them and I kind of like them. Like, I have fun with GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2. It's a beautiful game, but it has its problems. But Red Dead 1, I will always love. I played that game like 5 times. And it's like a 30-hour game. So I really love Red Dead Redemption 2 because it's a really good character piece in a way. And I just really like the world, really like the story, really like the characters. And it proved to me that as someone that didn't grow up with Zelda, or really, I grew up with a PS2, so I didn't really have many like big story games that I played anyway when I was younger. That was like the first game where I was introduced to a world which at the time felt alive, and it had a really engrossing story, and I love it. And I love Red Dead Redemption. Red Dead Redemption 2's story is incredible. I love 2 even more than 1 in a way, in terms of what it is. But I'll always have a soft spot for 1. But anyway, those are my 5. You guys did absolutely terrible that round.
Hey.
Yay.
Shut up.
Jack's on 2, and then Kyle and Hunter. I should have been counting this instead of putting eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Kyle's on 9. Hunter is on 3, 6, 8.
Hype.
No, also 9.
I believe I
Oh,
only
9.
have 2 points.
Yeah, it's all timed up.
I don't know
Maybe
how. Kyle got one that was specific, and I got.
Oh no, actually, yeah, okay, yeah, no, 8. Yeah, it should be 8. Hunter's on 8. Yeah, Kyle 9, Hunter 8. I'm on 5, and Jack's on 2. So Jack's got some climbing up to do.
I'm being exposed as a terrible friend.
Yeah, how do you know what games defined me? How do you not know?
Come on, Ethan. Don't you love Sonic Forces?
And
You know what?
Wii Sports.
Yeah, you know what, Jack? You're right. Wii Sports is the most defining game of my life. Let me just give you 3 points for making me realise that. Anyway, moving on. It's Kyle's turn now.
Heyo.
So
Lay it on me.
Ethan, are you starting this one?
Start us off.
I can
Ethan.
start. Okay, should I just go with the easier one? I've put Xenoblade Chronicles on there.
Which
Me
one?
too. The first
One.
1, yeah, I had that as well.
If you've said that 2 is slow, you said that 2 was becoming your favorite in a way, but when the question was games that define your gaming thing, that it's 1.
It is
That's
1.
what I plant my ground on.
So, yes, I do really love Xenoblade 1. I think it's one of the greatest games of all time. It's one of the best stories you can experience in a game.
But
I did end up giving it to Xenoblade 2 purely on the grounds of combat and the gameplay.
that's so mad.
Interesting.
Damn it.
This is
fucking
This is how I
mad,
based all my picks. Basically, if the game is fun on a casual level, but also has a deeper level to learn. Xenoblade 1 is very basic in concept, in combat. It's all very bare bones. There's nothing you can really do to spice up the combat. Xenoblade 2 has so much shit you can do with the combat. It's ridiculous. It's straight up one of the best action games I've ever played.
Wow.
And that has a cool story too.
And yeah,
Very much an underrated Switch game.
I looked at mine in terms of gameplay first, story and other stuff second. Because at the end of
I'm really fucked at this one, boys. I'm just gonna say
at the end of the day, these are video games, and if I'm not having fun playing the game, then it doesn't matter to me how good your story is. All right,
Wow.
continue.
Wow.
Hunter.
Someone's
Kingdom
completely
Hearts
ruined.
2.
Hey, you got it.
I also had Kingdom Hearts 2.
I also
Hey,
did, surprisingly.
you what?
I had Kingdom Hearts 2 as well.
Yo, good work, team.
I would also like to say that Kingdom Hearts 2 was my 4th pick. I had completely forgotten about Kingdom Hearts 2 until literally the final pick. I was like, oh yeah, that's a game that he kind of likes.
Kind
I
of.
guess, maybe. Do you want to explain why you like Kingdom Hearts 2? Because I can't be bothered. We all know you love it, but...
It's pretty much for the same reasons as Xenoblade 2. Every option you have in the game has a purpose, which is nothing is super overpowered either. And you have access to all these options pretty much anytime you want. It's just a super really good hacky slashy. And also Data Org, great boss rush. Lingering Will, great super boss. And also one of the most flashy final bosses I've ever seen. Laser Dome is the hype.
Real good.
Laser Dome is the hypest thing ever.
And it's not bullshit.
And it's not bullshit.
Although I do want to throw one thing to make Kingdom Hearts 2 fans hate me real quick.
Oh, goody.
The level design is fucking awful. I just
Yeah.
want to throw that one under the bus.
Yeah,
the combat's great. The story's wacky as shit. The bosses are great. But the level design, in terms of the main 3, Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3, the level design on that game is just like fucking no. Just all big. It's either barren rooms or corridors, and I don't really like it.
Yeah. That's kind of how I felt with
wonderful
game
game.
3. Just a lot of big empty rooms with nothing to do.
I was going to pick 3, but then I realised no one likes that game.
Hey, I like it for a first playthrough. In brackets, whenever my review will go up of Kingdom Hearts 3, it'll be I like it brackets if you're playing it for the first time.
Fair.
I like it brackets
okay
DLC only.
I thought it was okay as a first and probably only playthrough. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's good as a first playthrough. It's just that when you go and try and go back and play it, there's not really much meat to it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the game is already like a 30-odd hour game, so I can't really complain that there's no meat to it, because it's not like it's like an 8-hour, like, really well-crafted combat system game like Bayonetta or Devil May Cry or anything like that, so I can't really
That's a
complain.
That's a podcast for another day.
Anyway, moving on. Jack, your pick.
I went for a Pokemon game.
Good boy.
Because... But this is the thing, I don't know which one to pick. I eventually went for Pokemon Black and White 2.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't put Pokemon, but can I just take a guess for no points?
Sure.
I completely blanked. I forgot. I forgot. I would say if I was to take a guess for no points, it'd be Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
Hunter?
I had Platinum.
Ooh.
I definitely wouldn't have thought Platinum for Kyle.
I don't know.
It's Heart Gold Soul Silver.
No, okay, I'm glad that my non-guess gets a point. It doesn't get a point. Love the right guess. So well.
Black and White 2 over Gen 4.
Well, we still get a point.
Now that you said that Pokemon's one of them, I'm like, of course it is. Why did I blank Pokemon in this entire fucking thing? But you know.
So Pokemon Gold was the first game I ever played, and Heart Gold Soul Silver is just more of that game, and I love it. I've always loved Kanto. I think it's one of the best regions.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's super well designed. It introduced a lot of cool new evolutions to older Pokemon.
Did you mean Johto? You said Kanto.
I meant Johto, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say Kanto doesn't make sense here.
But Johto does.
What do you
Johto
mean,
does.
dude? Gen 2 is just more of Gen 1.
Yeah.
We got the Son of Giovanni, we got Kanto, we got old Kanto Pokemon getting evolutions. It's just Kanto pandering, dude.
More
That's
easy
what the whole
losing.
series is.
Just like the entirety of the Pokemon franchise. Their tagline is "We had Kanto."
Remember Charizard?
Charizard?
Remember Charizard?
Literally care about that.
Imagine. So there you go.
But no,
So now, yeah, we've guessed these way too quickly for Kyle, because now I have 2 guesses left.
Oh yeah, what was your third guess, Ethan?
I don't want to say it.
No, say it. You
Say
can't have a dumber guess than Sonic Forces.
Right, well, one of them I guessed was Final Fantasy.
Which one?
Yeah, and that's why literally on the end of it says 6/8, and I have to pick between 6 and 8. So I also pick 6.
Well, you're both wrong.
Ah, bummer.
I love 6, but it's not on my list.
Is
6
it 8?
is my favorite game
Oh,
from the
Final
franchise.
Fantasy isn't on your list at all, then.
No, it's just not on my list.
Bummer.
Oh, wonderful. That means I still have a chance with my other guess. Hunter, what have you got a guess left?
No, 6 was Final Fantasy
Jack,
6.
have you got a guess left?
I gave up and said Super Mario Brothers 2.
What?
2?
That might be a worse. That must be a worse guess than fucking Sonic Forces, dude. That's a worse guess.
But it's
I mean,
everyone's
Mario
game
2
of
is okay. It's a good game, but like, never beaten it.
Okay, so it's up
Fun
to me.
fact.
Is it up to me to finish?
One other one for no points.
Yeah, but yours is for no points, dude. Yours is for no points. I've still got one that's worth points that might potentially. It's probably not now that I'm thinking about it, but hey, we'll go for it. My final guess was Chrono Trigger.
Ooh,
that was my no points.
That's an ooh, that means no.
that's another really good game that I love, and everyone should play that game, Hunter.
I'll get to it, I promise.
No, Chrono Trigger's not on my list. I love Chrono Trigger. I love everything about
It better not have been Okami.
It's not Okami.
Okay, good.
Really funny.
That was the one that I took off my list just
Oh
because
my
I was
God.
like, no.
No, Chrono Trigger, like, everything in that game comes together so perfectly, and it's one of the best time travel plots I've ever seen because it really does time travel right, which is a hard thing to do.
Yeah, no kidding.
Nah, it's
I've
easy.
hardly seen any story get it right.
Nah,
But,
it's easy.
so we've all gone through our guesses.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. What is it?
So my last one was Dragon Ball Z Budokai.
I fucking hate you.
Oh yeah, you used to like speedrun one of those.
I
sure
hate
did.
you
Not only
so
did I
much.
speedrun it, I had world record for a little bit.
Oh, hype! Good job.
Yeah, it was.
I hate you. Why didn't I think of that?
So since points don't really matter for this
Could it
anymore,
be
I had it as
Forbidden
a
Memories?
toss-up. Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories.
Anyone want to play some Yu-Gi-Oh! FM?
I'm down.
Oh,
No.
wow.
Wants
on
to play-
my list, I had Budokai 1 and 3 just because both kind of 3 is just more of 1, but 1 has a better story mode. So there's just more of a single player campaign in that.
Oh,
3 is
nice.
just overall the better fighting game though. I just have like a special attachment to it. It's one of the earliest games I remember playing. I remember
Okay.
a lot of times my siblings and I would just play that game for like hours on end, so I have a big attachment to it.
I remember we had one of
Okay.
the games that we would play here and there. I had fun with that. I don't think I ever had like Budokai that's just on its own.
I had
That's
one of
great.
them when I was a kid, but all I remember was the game loaded terribly and it wouldn't ever work for me.
Okay, so
Alrighty, score, man. What's the score, man?
so Kyle, were you on 9?
Do I
Is that
get
what you were
points for
on?
this?
No.
Oh,
Then you were on 9, weren't you?
I think.
He
9 or
was on
10?
9, yeah.
Yeah, you were on 9 and Hunter was on 8. So now the score is I'm on 8, Cal's still on 9, obviously. Hunter's gone way up on the fucking thing, but he doesn't get any more points now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's 9. 12. He has 12 points. There we go. Ethan can do math, apparently. There you go. And then Jack is sitting close to me at 6.
I'm
So
surprised.
it's still all to play for. Who could believe it? But don't worry, it's Hunter's time where he tells us that we're all wrong. So
Oh, I'm sure there should be at least one that you guys get.
I think I've got up to.
like, you think you've got 2.
I think I do.
I thought I had 3 of Kyle's.
I mean, if we
And
look
I
at these from,
had-
like, a
And I
story
technically had,
perspective,
I
you
technically
would.
had 1.5. I had 1.5 technically.
You had what I'd consider a lot of my favorite games, but
Yeah.
that's just for story.
But when we do the favorite games list, we're talking. Anyway,
Don't
So it's
delete
finally
this
time.
list.
it's Hunter. Yeah, it's Hunter's go.
It's hunting
And I guess
season.
the person that gets to start is Jack. Go on, Jack. Have a guess.
My first game was Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
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 All right. Cool.
Is
I'm
it Metal
glad-
Gear Solid 1?
Oh, just any of the 1 through 4, honestly.
I was going to say 2 because I thought Hunter would be the kind of person I liked. That game's kind of like...
Yeah, 2 is real good. It got a bad rap when it came out, but like the whole series, each of them have things that are very unique about each other within the series, but all feel very distinctly Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
And I love
2
it
has
for
gotten a
that.
lot of love recently, I feel
Like,
like.
like 2 is probably the best sequel as far as going from 1 to 2 that I think I've
Definitely.
ever played.
Yeah.
At least in my opinion. And then 3 had a really good story, really self-contained in a lot of ways, and real nice. 4 was a lot of people don't like the way that they wrapped everything up, but I was into it. I really enjoyed the story of the primary Metal Gear Solid series.
I just want to also point out I also did have Metal Gear Solid on my list.
All right.
That's why I asked what number. That's why I asked what number, because I
Yeah.
literally just had Metal Gear Solid as in the original. So I was like, as long
I
as you
did
say
not.
1 through 4, then okay. But yeah, I also had Metal Gear on there. So
And
well done,
Kyle,
Jack. Kyle's losing his original lead. You're only 1 point off Kyle, and I'm 1 point over him. Let's do this, Jack. We can
Oh
do this.
shit.
do this.
Kyle, what's your guess?
Devil May Cry 1.
Yes, you are correct.
Damn.
I would also like to say I also had Devil May Cry 1.
Damn it.
Because I've listened to this podcast enough. Because I'm in it.
I don't think I've
Fair
talked
play.
about the first game on this podcast yet.
Sorry, I feel I've listened to you talk about Devil May Cry enough over the past couple of weeks to have heard you say it. But anyway, do you want to go for the reasons why?
Devil May Cry 1, I would be hard-pressed to argue that it's like a better game than 3 or 5, but it's the one that means the most to me. It's the one that got me into the series. Dante was just so cool to me as a kid, and I never really let go of that attachment. So, yeah. The atmosphere in that game is one that I don't think the other games even come close to touching. It's actually kind of creepy in a lot of ways, and I love it for that. And overall, just I like the enemy lineup in that game a lot. A lot of 3's enemies were, it seemed like they were putting you off of being able to combo them, which I wasn't a super big fan of. The first game, a lot of it was more what the enemies could do to you rather than you having to do something specifically to them. So yeah.
Cool. There we go. You didn't have that, Jack.
I didn't know.
How many guesses does everyone have left? I have 2.
I've got 3 guesses left.
Okay, so Jack, you go again then, because I've only got 2 left.
I kind of just wanted to go for a guess and say Animal Crossing since he's been talking about it recently.
He hasn't. I've been talking about it, and Kyle's been talking about
Animal Crossing. I've never. Sorry to say, Jack, but I've never played an Animal Crossing game.
You've been fucking duped, son, because it's been everyone else around him that's been talking about.
That's the problem, you see.
Respectable
Just
try.
blend together to him.
I mean,
There's at least got to be a "you tried" badge in the post for you, Jack, if it makes you feel any better.
I've still got 2 guesses. I'm good.
Yeah, true. Kyle, what's your second guess?
I have the Resident Evil 2 remake.
I
don't know why.
That's not a bad guess for
Originally,
things that
I
I
just
like.
had generic Resident Evil, but then I thought I'd get specific.
That's not a bad guess
Ethan would yell
for
at me
being
otherwise.
something that I like recently, because I think Resident Evil 2 Remake is probably my favorite game in the series now. But the Resident Evil series isn't on my list.
Tragic.
Damn it! I had it.
I just want to know. Yeah, I want you to know that Resident Evil was on my list for all but 2 seconds, and I went, "Nah, I bet you it's not."
I had Resident Evil 4.
There's a lot of things I like about it, and like I went through Resident Evil had it rough for several years, and I tuned it out for a while, and now
Now you can't
but
ignore it.
now it's good.
So we're down to our 5. No, Jack's got 1. We've got 2. Kyle, go on.
I have No More Heroes 2 next up.
That's a good one for kind of games I like, but I would not say that defines my video game tastes. It's real good, though.
It is.
I also like the first game a little bit more.
Aww. I haven't played the first game.
Oh,
That
fair
hasn't
enough.
changed since last week,
Yeah.
or whenever we talked about this.
Yeah.
These weeks just kind of blend together.
Time's a flat circle.
It's definitely Wii Sports Resort.
Ah, yes. My favorite Wii game. No.
I mean,
I
who's it?
didn't play it.
Was that your final guess?
No, it's not.
Anyway, I've got 2 games here. One of them, I know you really like the game, but I don't know if it's on your list. The other one is a fight between 2,
Ooh.
and one of them has already been mentioned, and I keep saying it for people, but it hasn't become true. So I'm like, should I go for it again?
Go for it.
Basically, my thing is, should I say fucking Breath of the Wild for the 3rd time this podcast, or should I say Portal 2? That's the question that I have right now.
Well,
I'm going to say Breath of the Wild.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to say.
I had the Zelda series as just a blanket thing, and Breath of the Wild is currently my favorite Zelda game, so...
Hey.
Yeah.
Is it on the list?
I have Breath of the Wild, too.
Yeah. I just said the Zelda. Mine was just Zelda series, because Breath of the Wild's my favorite, but if we were going back to, like, what, if we wanted to be super specific about what defined my tastes, it would be more like Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask.
Okay.
So
we're just going to go with Zelda series then.
Yeah. Because, like...
I mean, it doesn't matter either way, because me and Cal both get a point, so it's not going to fix the current predicament.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild.
Jack, did you have Breath of the Wild?
Because...
I had Xenoblade because I just thought maybe he played it with Kyle or some shit, so I gave it.
I played Xenoblade too and thought it was alright, but I don't think I like it nearly as much as Ethan or Kyle do.
Cool.
Okay, cool. That's Jack gone. Cal, was that your final guess? Was that Breath of the Wild was your final guess?
Breath of the Wild was my last one, yeah.
Right, my final one was one that I know that he likes, but now that he's been saying every time, he's like, I really like that game, but I don't think it defines my taste. My final one, which is a bit obscure, which is, I don't blame why you two didn't put it. I put Transistor.
There you go.
Is it?
Yeah. You see,
fuck.
All right. So Devil May Cry, Metal Gear Solid, and Legend of Zelda are very intrinsic to my early video game tastes and just defining what my tastes in like entertainment media since I was a kid are. Transistor is very much in the past 5 years since I've played it. I've thought about that game so much, and I constantly the only games that I've liked more than it since playing it have been games that come from the series that I mentioned: Breath of the Wild, Devil May Cry 5. Really, the only other game that I kind of that's in a similar echelon that I've played in the past 5 years has been Celeste. So yeah, Transistor's just really good in so many ways to me. Like, I think the world that they make and the story that they tell are great. There's a whole lot of different ways you can switch up what you're doing in the combat. The soundtrack is amazing.
I'm so glad that I guessed Transistor, dude. I was like, it's a risky one because I'm the only person. I knew that I was going to be the only person that would put that down.
I don't even know what Transistor is.
Because I think I'm the only one that's had this conversation with you about Transistor. So it's like...
It's also on like the eShop for $4 right now. You should go play it.
Damn.
Well, a little plug. There you go.
Everyone should go play it. No, not sponsored. I just really love Supergiant.
But there you go. And that's why I'm a fucking genius, dude. What can I say?
Well, at least I got the big prize of being the worst friend.
Epic Gamer, dude. That means that technically, by their scorekeeping system, that is probably true. I'm not gonna lie. It's either 1 point off, or it's good, or it's 1 point off. Which just it doesn't seal that. It doesn't stop Jack's fate of being last. In terms of Jack's the worst friend. Then in third place it was Hunter. Second place it was Kyle.
Heck yeah.
And fucking Zelda and Transistor literally like kept me away from Kyle. And there you go. Because I was 1 point ahead of you, Kyle, for the entirety of that round, and then Transistor put me another 2 ahead. So there you go. There you go. Goes to show I'm the best friend, everybody. What a riot.
I would be the best friend if you just opened up and actually, revealed your opinions on Wii Sports, but here we are.
What can I say, Jack?
Hey, it's a great tech demo.
Yeah, maybe I played so much bowling and none of the others because whenever you go around someone's house back then in the day, you'd only play bowling.
It's true. It
Maybe
was the only
tennis.
fun one.
Maybe tennis if you're feeling ballsy.
You just
But you know,
swing constantly.
other than that,
No,
there
bowling
you
was
go.
bowling was the best one because it was 4 players and you only needed one remote.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
so you could just pass it.
It's like
Yeah.
how in Mario Golf you could just pass it off with one controller if you didn't
was-
have any.
It was broken.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty great. But there you go. Those
Join-
were
join
our
us
games that defined us.
Sports mini games.
But there you go. So there, what are the games that defined you? Let us know. Using social media or some shit, I don't know. I'm not good at plugging. Oh yeah, that's it. You can send it to us, tweet us using the hashtag HotGamersOnly, or leave it in like YouTube comments. We have those as well. I forgot about them.
We definitely read those.
We definitely read those. Very
That's
quickly, I'm going to mention it. We haven't really talked about it this week because we haven't played them. Well, I've played a bit of Animal Crossing, but not really. None of us play Mario Maker. But because we like to say that we like to keep up to date with news, Nintendo did drop a Mario Maker 2 update this week. It had a load of shit. Go play it.
It's like the last update they're doing for it, isn't it?
It's the final
Yeah, and
one.
they added no new themes.
Oh wow.
They added a whole tab called Extra Themes, and then there was only one. So I really hope that final patch patched it to just say theme. Because my OCD will go out the fucking roof if they didn't.
Was there an
Anyway, I don't.
Gonna turn the game on?
Yeah, they had the 4 themes in like by themselves, and then when you looked, it said bonus themes or extra themes, and it said themes like plural, but there was only one, and it was 3D World.
Oh right, yeah.
And then we never got a second one, so there you go, Nintendo overachieving. And then also, if you're an Animal Crossing fan and you're still tied up to the fucking chain that is that game, you now have art to go and collect, and there's plants and shit. They've added some stuff. Go check it out. It's a
Ooh.
pretty cool update. It also makes you wait another day. It also closes the museum for another day. So if you really enjoyed stacking shit outside of Blathers' museum, then my boy, have we got a day for you, because you get to do it all over again. But other than that, I think the topic lasted quite a while. I think we're good to go. I think that was a successful time. Well done, everyone, for having good opinions, except for Jack.
Not even his opinions that were bad. It was bad guesses.
Yeah, bad guesses on Jack's part. But hey, who knows?
Come on.
I mean, if Sam was here, you totally would have won with the Wii Sports and Sonic Forces guesses. Like, you know,
Possibly.
blame Sam for not being here. But there you go. Anyway, on that note, this has been Hot Gamers Only, the show where we talk about the fucking hottest games and what is it? Hottest topics and games. Jesus, I'm tired.
You don't have this memorized yet?
I should. I thought I did up until I tried to say it then.
It's true.
Yeah. It's just the reason that fun side story quickly. The reason that the whole tagline is where we come together to talk about the hot topics in games is just so people realize that the hot in Hot Gamers Only isn't us being fucking jackasses. That's the reason. The whole reason behind Hot Gamers Only was, one, it was a joke term that we used, and then two, it was supposed to relate to, we were supposed to talk about current topics in games, but hey, that quickly went out the window. Anyway, if you like what we're doing, leave us a positive rating on iTunes and Google Play. Is that what the store's called? I'm not an Android guy.
I believe so.
Yeah, it is.
Please leave us a 5-star rating. Remember, if you want to give us a 1-star rating, too bad they don't let you do that, so just post a negative comment on YouTube. We'll read it. Otherwise, you can catch us also on Spotify, on YouTube, SoundCloud as well. If you are a SoundCloud user, there's quite a few of you out there. So hey, shout out if you use SoundCloud, because I have to pay to upload there. It's wonderful.
That's bad, man.
Other than that, we upload every Monday at 5 p.m. UK time, 12 p.m. Eastern. Work it out for everyone else. You can do it. You're all grown ups. You can do it. And then other than that, Hunter, where can people find you if they want to hear more of your swellness?
Oh yeah, it's wellness.
Nice callback.
YouTube.com/ReaperHunter23.
Nice. And where can they find you, Jack?
You can find me on Twitter complaining about... Oh, I'm joking. I'm not doing that anymore. You can find me at... What's my Twitter handle again?
Oh my lord.
Jacoby1996, isn't it?
Thanks. And you can also find me streaming on Twitch at twitch.tv/Jacobine.
If you like people torturing themselves, then he does some good Crash 2 speedruns over there. Crash Tuesday, am I right, Jack?
Crash
Exactly.
Tuesdays.
Crash Tuesday. Wonderful. You love to see it. And then Kyle, where can people find you?
Well, you stole my joke. I was going to bring up Crash 2 Tuesday.
Oh, too bad. Do it again. Hang on. Let's pretend nothing happened. And Kyle, where can we find you?
Well, you can find me on... Now it's just insincere. I can't do this.
Kyle, you need to learn to sell out. Where
No.
can we find you, Kyle?
Nobody will know where to find me.
You can find him on Twitter at KDavisSRL. Or use
If
the
I
same
never
for
say
Twitch.
the name, the podcast never ends.
Yeah.
Oh,
We'll
well,
be
you know,
stuck
all
here
good,
forever.
all good things must come
Forever.
to an end, Kyle. All good things must come to an end. And if you want to find me, why the hell would you? You can find me on YouTube, I guess. /WhatAJames. I upload there really frequently. You should really check out all those quality videos that I don't make.
I think he's got an update video coming out soon.
No, it's about that time.
It's almost
It's about that time.
Yearly update.
It's almost May. It's almost update month time. It's great. Let's go. And then if not, you can find me on Twitter at @WhatAJames_ for video upload. So that Twitter just basically just sits there dormant. Or if you want to get in contact with me, I'm the guy that runs the Giggers Twitter account. So go and at me there, question me, whatever you want to do.
Hassle
Other than that,
shake him
that's
down.
been our show. Thank you for listening. We'll be back next week with probably another topic show because there ain't no games coming out. Tell you that much.
Yeah, don't want to make any
So-
promises, but I think we have Pokemon next week. So
Oh, well, yeah, maybe.
I think that's the plan.
Maybe we did send a message to Sam about it
If
today,
Sam
so
ever gets
hopefully
off his
he'll get
ass.
the hopefully he'll get the carrier pigeon by next week so that we can get him in here. But if not, then we'll come up. We've got plenty of other topics to keep us going until a game actually releases. So don't you worry.
Like our
Or
favorite
until one
week.
of us beats the other games that we've played.
Honestly, it's going to be so funny because literally I was looking at our schedule. I'm sorry, we're carrying on the podcast when I'm trying to end it. But I was looking at our schedule and we generally have the month of May, other than Xenoblade coming out at the end of the month, there is generally nothing. So it's just going to be a load of topic shows. And then in June, you've got like what's left of E3 that IGN's doing. And then we've got like literally about 4 spoiler casts to do in that month because of just the way you'll have Xenoblade, you'll have probably Persona 5 Royal by that point, and Final Fantasy 7. And we're probably going to have multiple episode shows in June. So multi-episode weeks. Sorry, that's what I tried to say. Anyway, so have fun with the boring topics while you can, because then we'll be back to boring talking about the same game for 3 weeks. What's not to love?
The
But
more
anyway.
things change.
Yeah.
Oh well, it's all fun in games. Until we get cancelled, it's all good. But anyway, until next time.
Is that an issue?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh no.
No, we're good. But anyway, until next week, it's been a pleasure as always, and we'll see you next time for more Hot Gamers Only. Until then, bye.